Hey, what's up, guys? Tobin here with you. Thanks for checking out the channel. Hope you're doing well out there. If you guys could subscribe, that'd be great. And appreciate you stopping by. The combine is in full swing, dude. All right? We got things. Hey, we don't got a lot down here. Okay? We do not have a lot down here, right? It's hard times. The Dolphins are maybe about to blow this thing up. Maybe they're going to duct tape this thing together. I don't really know. But one thing that I do know, you never want your coach, because we've been there. You never want your coach to be the coach caught sleeping at the combine. You just can't be that coach. I don't know how many Cafe Bustelos you need to load up with. I don't know if you need to go find some of that Chris Furster in the bathroom, but you can't fall asleep during the combine. And Aaron Glenn catching a little nappy poo right there. You just, I get it. It probably is boring because I imagine during the combine, there's got to be a bevy of guys who stink or just aren't impressive. And you're just like, do I really need to watch this 7th round? But when they catch you sleeping, and I remember the year, it was alleged that Joe Philbin fell asleep. I think he was asleep, but it also might have just been a bad screenshot where it looks like he was sleeping. He had a bit of a haunted face, and it kind of just looked like he had like the mouth open. It looked very much like Joe Philbin. But let me tell you something. When it's sleepy poo time, it's typically over. I mean, other than like Belichick, who I think they caught sleeping one time, you gotta have some hardware to give yourself napping privilege right now. Okay, like if Mike McDaniel wants to sleep, he could sleep away. If Sirianni wants to sleep, Aaron Glenn out off of that Jets season cannot fall asleep. I like to see Jeff Hafley when he was there, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, wide awake. That's what we need to see, dude. You need to see that because once you get caught napping, it feels very much over. The interesting thing and I'm not going to go into another whole Rueben Bain thing because I've obviously made my thoughts on that. No, but I do think, is it because the obsession about his arms, which is crazy, is it simply because there's just not a lot of QB juice in this draft and the combine really like it's got to be freak performances like, oh my God, did we see Sonny Styles jump today? Oh my, you guy's like a bullfrog. Oh, like, holy crap. So it's like it's either the freakish performances or it's weird measurements or it's embarrassing performances like the dude's deal falling out when he ran the 40. Or it's got to be some kind of crazy thing like Kenny Pickett's tiny hands. But tiny hands, like as a quarterback, like I've heard that for forever. That's always been a thing, right? And it really, like, does it matter? Does it not matter? I don't know. But it stuck with him forever. And even with Will Campbell and the Patriots had a very good year. Once he got the Super Bowl, all they could talk about was his T-Rex arms. And the same thing is happening with Rueben Bain. The only thing is I don't necessarily know if Rueben Bain had 0 arms. Like if Rueben Bain was simply legs and a torso, that I wouldn't take him at 11. So do with it what you will. I don't know. The Dolphins did meet with Jermod McCoy, Tennessee cornerback. Two things scare me about this, and it has nothing to do with Jermod really as a player. It's situation with him. So maybe I'm being a little hypocritical with the Bain thing and not being worried about measurements, but being worried about McCoy and his ancillary obstacles that he's got to face. But coming off of an ACL that happened over a year ago and not being ready to work out, that scares me. And then also, just in general, taking the cornerback high, scarred. But I got to look at this. I got to grow up a little bit with this because I got to look at this as this is not Chris Grier drafting. And so I got to give it the fresh eyes that it deserves. I'm just not there yet. I can't get there yet. So there was that. And then they also met with LSU cornerback Mansour Delaney, who he said Coach Hafley recruited him in Boston College. So there was some talk there as well. But the thing that came out today that was juicy amongst juicy, because I didn't know that we were going to get these, was the report cards came out. And they were leaked to ESPN today. And they weren't even leaked to Adam Schefter. They leaked it to a reporter who I was not familiar with. What was her name who did the story? Kaylin Kaller reported this, and she got all of the leaks. She has all of the report cards. And the Miami Dolphins, once again, this is Stephen Ross's championship, honestly. Like, Stephen Ross is sitting here. He's dying to build a good football team. He can't do it. But man, has he made everybody very happy with where he works. He's got like the ultimate employee satisfaction card. The customers, not so much. I don't know what the real world equivalent to that is in the space of like, hey, people really like working there, but their customers not so pleased. That's where the Dolphins are at. Now, the entire grades have come out, and the Dolphins flying colors on everything. Flying colors on everything. Treatment of families was a B+. Home game field, A-. They said the Dolphins have, like, he's got a damn grass farm. Food and dining area, when it was awesome. Nutritionist, A-. Locker room, A-. Training room, A. Training staff, A. Weight room, A+. Strength coaches, A+. Position coaches, A-. Offensive coordinator, A-. Defensive coordinator, A. Special teams coordinator, B. There was only two things that didn't get an A. Special teams coordinator and head coach. Head coach got a B. Mike McDaniel got a B. And then Kaylin actually cited this in her story about where things happened on it, because Mike McDaniel went from an A+ apparently to a B. And this is what she said. Players identify scheduling, communication, leadership as key areas for head coach improvement, presenting an opportunity for new head coach Jeff Hafley this season. A- went to general manager. I got to think that's Champ Kelly. I don't think that could possibly go to Chris Grier. Although Chris Grier did give it out a lot of money. And then team ownership got an A. But they were the number one overall rank in this stuff. Does this stuff matter? I don't think it does. Like, the worst team, the other side of all this was the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are looked upon as a blue chip organization. And the Rooney family, they were complaining about the bathrooms. They were complaining about weight room facilities. They were complaining about a lot of things. Basically everything that's not Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin was the only thing that kind of skated on this. And it's just funny because this keeps coming up where it's like, who loses these things? Steelers, Chiefs. These are like the teams that usually do really poorly in these. The Dolphins, they always do awesome. They don't do any winning. It doesn't really matter. But Stephen Ross can maybe get like a plaque. Maybe Garfinkel can like make him a trophy or something like that. I don't know, dude. The Cardinals, who are the other team that Malik Willis might be looking at, they also had I think they had very bad grades going into this. They were ranked 31st overall. Treatment of families, D+, home field, B, food and dining, C-, locker room, F-. Didn't even know that was a grade. Training room, D+, training staff, B-, weight room, D+. Travel, C+, team ownership, F. Yeesh. Not great, dude. That is a rough one. That is a rough one. Who else did terrible? I love this thing. And I love the fact that the owners don't want this out. Like, it wasn't going to get leaked. Because the whole thing is, they said this violated the collective bargaining agreement. So now it just gets out anyway. And I honestly like it better. I think they've done it in a more concise way. Cleveland Browns, awful grades all around. Not surprised. They were ranked 30th overall. Green Bay, where everybody's coming from. Let's see. Green Bay was ranked 21st overall. Treatment of families, C+. Lambeau Field, they don't like it. Training room, C. Training staff, C. Offensive coordinator, C. Head coach, B-. General manager, B+. So that's what you got coming from there. Defensive coordinator got an A-, though. So Jeff Hafley actually got one of the best grades amongst everything. He got one of the best grades out of Green Bay, who was not any great shakes overall with this. So it's just something to keep in mind. Something to keep in mind with that. Yeah, the Chiefs are ranked 27th this year. Somehow the Raiders were ranked 6th. Would have thought that they were going to be a lot lower. Patriots 26 in the Super Bowl. Keep getting away with it. It's unbelievable. The Jets did a lot better. The Jets did a lot better than they did last year, I think. And allegedly it was Woody Johnson who didn't want this out. But whatever. The point is that Dolphins, awesome facilities. Mike McDaniel's grade seemed to go down a wee bit. He was like one of the only blemishes at a B for the Dolphins. And Jeff Hafley on a not great Packers report card got the best grade. So that's good news. The other piece of news for today was Anthony Richardson. I just want to say to that, no thanks. Biggest reason for me, to be honest with you, is just durability. Like, I just don't know how the Dolphins in good faith can go into something with somebody like Anthony Richardson, who obviously everybody fell in love with the physical traits, the arm. We saw he had that one throw against the Dolphins. It was incredible. But he can't stay on the field. Like, he can't stay on the field. He's not only a raw physical specimen, but he's a raw physical specimen that can't stay healthy. So it kind of like cancels out the excitement level of him being a physical specimen, and that specimen can't stay healthy. So not interested in it. I'll pass on that, and we could try and find another option.